Hi, you guys. You know, I think we spend a lot of time, at least I do, trying to figure things out. What does this mean? What's the next move? You know, what's my purpose in life? La, la, la. And feeling like I'm chasing that answer. And somebody said, and I didn't attribute the quote, but that doubt is the holy place, or at least a holy place. It's okay to just sit with it. Certainty is sort of suspect in a way. Doubt is a holy place. It was Rumi who said, sell your certainty and buy doubt, something like that. There's, doubt is a holy place. So let's see what that means, if anything. And that thing of chasing down what does this mean? I got to figure it out. It brings you a step up. I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to figure it out. I think we're supposed to live it. Yeah, 7 of Wands. That's somebody who's turning away from a lot of concerns or being pushed by other people's agenda. Do this, do that. Wands are sort of a doing energy. And this person is living inside a protective globe, and it's not like a bubble of ignoring the world, but it's turning inwards, either in a prayer pose. A calmness, not trying to feel like you have to do something all the time. It's being versus doing, I guess. More Wands energy, and look at her go. This is kind of a non-action place. In traditional Rider-Waite, it shows somebody blocking something or resisting something. But here I think it's just a kind of, because Wands can speak to power, in that quiet meditative place, storing up some kind of power. And then the release. There's a circle, inside it, quiet and meditative. And then there's the circle again, this kind of winding it up energy. Page of Wands can be a new direction. Page energy is new, is young. It's the pages are kind of the children of the tarot. And Wands can speak to personal power, to purpose, to direction. And here the solar plexus is lit up, which is the do-it energy. I think it's like gathering your strength to walk a new path. And it's a path of discovery and intuition. It's not involved it doesn't involve figuring something out. It involves a kind of quietness. To intuit a new way forward. I think we had that last time. Is it this one? Wow, I'll say Queen of Wands. It's almost like, not I'll remove myself from the world, but I'll quiet down so I can listen to my own intuition. There's a lot coming at you. But that stepping back or removal or blocking other people's, not being pushed around, kind of. Allows for this creative, new, young, forward movement. Wands speak to movement. And here's Queen of Wands, the one who embodies that, who's magical and mystical and, that fire business in the solar plexus here. The center, the sun center, fire energy inside, and then it's kind of a gift from the universe to you. You're being gifted something. Under 7 of Wands. Wow, I'll say 10 of Cups. Water energy, Cups energy, to do with connection and love, and, this is kind of as good as it gets. And there's something about as good as it's beyond that. But there is a my cup runneth over kind of feeling here. Great good fortune. Great good fortune. 6 of Cups. That can be a card of the soulmate, or being that kind of companion to yourself. Ordinarily, the idea is it's somebody from the past or somebody you've been connected to a long time. But here it almost looks like the connection between you and your inner child. A love that grows over time. King of Swords. Sword energy about thinking and perception and clarity. This might be somebody that you feel connected to, an air sign, somebody who's a little bit removed, who steps back in order to analyze something, perhaps to analyze a long-standing relationship. This person has a lot of feelings for you, Cups energy. But they might not, wear their heart on their sleeve. And they might see you as, if they're analytical and a bit removed, you're not looking to them for a sense of direction. They may be feeling very nostalgic for this relationship and remembering, sword energy, remembering or calling to mind how much love there was. But you're on a new path. That doesn't mean your paths won't converge. Sometimes this is the return of somebody into your life. There's been some kind of separation now that has given you great energy. Is it this? On 10 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles can speak to time. They may be remembering you as somebody who was very grounded, very loving, very caring, who took their time, who wasn't in any rush. They may be trying to figure out I'm not sure. Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Well, let's see. Speak to whether this is, is it 3 people we're working with here? It is. Tell us about the Queen of Pentacles. Magician, card of Virgo, Gemini. A major manifester. So is Queen of Wands. I just got a hit that maybe Queen of Wands, King of Swords are the same person. Somebody who's tapped into their intuitive side when their go-to is analytical and brainy. I don't know. Let's see, 7 of Wands, 8 of Cups. It's usually a card of walking away on a new path. I often see this as walking, finding higher love. Doesn't mean you don't love what you're leaving behind. But you are kind of making tracks towards something brighter. Or this person is. Yeah, who's who is who's zooming who is kind of a question here. I'm not sure. Queen of Wands, King of Wands. Well, that could be somebody who's whole, both sides, the active side and the receptive side. Or this person may have gotten an offer from a King of Wands, somebody who's very powerful and knows what they want to do. Queen of Wands is receiving the offer. Might entail him or her walking away from a previous partner. But it's beginning to seem like a crowded field. Something that it was too much coming at you. So you had to turn inward. And maybe your intuition said, I need to move on. I need to walk a new path. And perhaps you do, and perhaps it's into the relationship with somebody you've kind of met your match. Not in the sense of this is the person for me, but just like we have an energetic match here. Who's zooming who? On 6 of Cups. Knight of Swords. More sword energy. It could be that this air sign person, this person who is inclined to take a step back and wants the clear vision of what's going to happen. Now they have something to say. They're coming forward fast. They may know, sword energy, that you're walking away and perhaps you found somebody else. Not that there's, I don't believe in the one person and the only one person that is your match. there, you know, there are so many people in the world and so many different ways to connect. So many different ways to connect. What are we manifesting? We've got the new path. 8 of Pentacles. Card of doing the work. Pentacles energy. Card of doing the work. And it's sort of like this. They're both looking in the same direction now. To go forward in a new creative direction. This one's a creator. They've made something. They've spent their time investing in themselves, perhaps. And something in me is tempted to stop. Don't walk away, Renee. Is it this? Hangman. Card of Pisces. Cups energy. You know, that's like, I wrote that down somewhere. Hangman, sacred pause, a space between the trigger and the response. Doubt is a holy place. So this is somebody who's taking their time to process their feelings about where to go next, perhaps. You know, and it's something about getting away from the influences of other people. If things are coming at you, you might want to focus on your own work. You might actually meet somebody through your work. And if this is walking the new path, I'm not sure. Hangman. Okay, let's get another. Wow. Death card. Death and rebirth. Card of Scorpio. The ending of something, the beginning of something new. And I think there's that's coming through kind of again and again. We have the going inside to discover your own intuitive sense of where to go in that directional way. The wands, where to go. You know, you may have spent a long time, maybe even 8 years, discovering a new path forward. Discovering somebody who matches your energy more. So we have Pisces, Scorpio. Death and rebirth. Yeah, again, this is often to me a kind of chrysalis energy. Some metamorphosis that's underway. Can be a card of epiphany. You know, in the cocoon, in the bubble, taking the time to feel something through. 8 and 8 is 16. 16, I believe, is Tower, another card of Scorpio. You know, the new day, the new way, the deconstruction of something that maybe had been there for a long time. Maybe in turning to a new connection. One more? Yeah, Page of Cups. That page energy, only this time in the realm of affection, connection. Something that kind of upends your world. Head over heel, heels over head. Being caught up in the, look at his hair. Their hair. So the end of something, the beginning of something new. There's the new energy page. Some big change in the psyche, a death and rebirth. Might be happening in Scorpio time, which we're in right now. But there's a shift here, a new direction. And it may be both you may be parting from somebody on good terms, might not be a lover. You might be like leaving home or but if it's that, you're both liberated to go in a new direction. Out of this kind of place of nostalgia. This person may have been your soulmate. And this is kind of weird, but perhaps you're going towards somebody else, Queen of Wands, King of Wands, and they are too. King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. Like something has come to full term. The relationship came to a natural conclusion. You were soulmates. You parted as friends. At least there's the potential for that. For a reactivation of the heart, Page of Cups, the death and rebirth, Scorpio energy of, and see how, again, the sun image there, inside the shroud, the new landscape. We have the sun image here again, in this card of Pisces, the Epiphany, and in, where was it? Yeah. There was somebody who had their, well, here we go. Solar plexus. That life force energy. Something that was there all along, but has somehow now been uncovered. Doubt is a holy place. And I think whatever was going on, there was really time to pull back and process the feelings. This was a considered move. This wasn't some kind of spontaneous, I think I'll get out of here. May have taken a long time. May have been somebody you worked with. But there is a kind of free at last element to this. After a period of doubt, suddenly discovering a new direction and a kind of, it's okay to leave. It's okay to change. It's not feeling guilty about restarting your life, something like that. We have on the board Scorpio in the Death card, Pisces in the Hangman, Virgo, Gemini in the Magician. There's a lot of generative, new, creative energy in this. Yeah, soulmate, but moving on somehow. after a long time. Hermit. And again, the light. That's a card of spirituality, meditative energy, and not a withdrawal from the world, but just self-knowledge. 9 speak to the self. Somebody who goes into a kind of spiritual retreat to understand their own intuition and walk their own path. And it doesn't mean outside of connection. There's a lot of connective energy here. Page of Cups, 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Hangman, Scorpio. Deep feelings here. And some kind of long-term relationship that is either being renewed or it's a natural, it's a death and rebirth. Okay, you guys, doubt is a holy place. Take your time. If you're considering some kind of move or change or, don't be pushed into any decision. And I'll see you next time.